Why are some inmates spending decades on Indiana's death row? Tonight we've got a preview of Rich Nye's special report. Welcome inside the comfy confines of the Channel 13 studios. It's a good thing to be indoors tonight because the temperatures are dropping after a beautiful day.
67 degrees, and we're down almost 30 from that 67.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went out to move my car and I'm running to the car. It was so nice. I didn't listen to my own advice and bring a heavy coat, so I just had a sweater.
Oh, so you only have yourself to blame tonight.
My own, yes, just me.
Well, just so you know, my heavy coat is in my car. I didn't bring it in because it was so nice today.
Well,
the
I know you
sunshine and blue sky was great.
67 as we're walking in the building, so it will be quite a bit colder as we head home. Probably felt that temperature change. We're in the 30s now, at least most of us, although Lafayette has dropped already into the upper 20s, 28. We're down to 33 in Indianapolis. We have one lone holdout, that's Bedford at 41, but all of us will be in the middle and upper 20s to kick off our Friday. Friday forecast is a cold one. Wake up temperatures close to 25, but enough of a breeze that wind chills will be in the teens. Don't forget the heavy coat tomorrow. You will need it off and on most of the day. Temperatures for kids at the bus stop in the 20s, close to 30. You'll need the heavy coat, and eventually we get close to 40 for a high with a mix of sun and clouds. Now this time tomorrow night, we'll be tracking this little weak weather system that will bring us a slight chance of a few snow showers or a light wintry mix. Right now it doesn't look like much in the way of accumulations, but even if we would get a few slick spots very early Saturday morning, this is out of here by 8-9 a.m. moving south of the Ohio River, and our temperatures climb pretty quickly. So we'll be 40s by noon and 50 for a high on Saturday. So again, any slick spots would be very early Saturday morning, but I don't think it's going to cause too many problems.
Okay, very good. Couple of minutes. We're going to talk about the new American Girl doll twins that are out that takes you back to the 90s. Let us know in the comments section if you or your daughter had an American Girl doll growing up. I've got a couple of stories about my own daughter's an American Girl coming up in a moment, but we'll get back to Angela and talk a little bit more about the weather. But we do want to talk about one of the special reports that you're going to see tonight on 13 News at 11. We're going to be talking about Indiana's death row up in Michigan City. Our Rich Nye has been working on a story that's very interesting because there are some inmates that have been waiting decades on Indiana's death row. What is going on? Why are these people still on death row after so many decades? Rich Nye is going to take a look at that. And one of the other stories that he's got as part of this tonight, he's taking a close look at how long the wait could be to carry out. Why is there a delay? One of the sentences, especially since the state can't execute anyone right now, involves this Beech Grove officer, Bill Toney. So Bill's wife, Dee Dee, is talking to Rich Nye about this particular story. Now, Beech Grove officer Bill Toney was shot and killed in the line of duty, but his killer has lived on death row for more than 20 years. All his appeals exhausted long ago.
My girls were, 18 months and 4 years old when I'm telling them I'm doing this interview now, they're looking at me and saying, why is he still on death row, Mom? I can't give him an answer to that.
Rich Nye found the answer to that question. So tonight at 11, he's going to examine the long wait for justice and the families who fear it may never come. So again, that's coming up tonight on 13 News at 11, a very interesting story. All right, let's bring Angela back in because we want to talk about American Girl dolls. American Girl, of course, I think they've got a headquarters or at least a store up in Chicago, right?
Yes, we never did that with Grace, but I think you can go and the American Girl doll and your daughter or son, for that matter, could go in and have lunch, get your hair done, all sorts of things.
It is a whole thing.
Yeah, so, it's like doubling up spa appointments for the child and the doll.
Right, right. So American Girl doll has debuted its new historical characters. Want to go ahead and show them to you tonight because we thought perhaps you might be interested in seeing this. So the dolls are the first ever twins in the historical collection. They've got very different personalities. Isabel, who you see there on the left, is preppy, and Nikki, there on the right, is a skater girl. And so this is kind of a throwback to 1999. So American Girl dolls, very popular with, you know, a couple of generations, I suppose. They were very popular in my house growing up. I have 2 daughters, both of whom got the American Girl doll. We went up to Chicago. We had lunch there at the American Girl doll restaurant. So I couldn't remember tonight what dolls my own daughters have. So I sent a text out to them and said, hey, refresh Dad's memory on this. So one of my daughters had Kirsten, and she was the one who apparently had to be hospitalized. So they've actually got a hospital there up in Chicago because my daughter's twin brother ripped the arm out of the socket. And so Kirsten came back in a wheelchair, a gown with a balloon. And again, it was Kirsten. I'm being reminded by my daughter, Kirsten. And then my older daughter had Samantha. Remembers going to the American Girl restaurant in Chicago and seeing the little play. And so now my granddaughter, who's 2 years old, now plays with the mini American Girl doll and calls that doll GP, which is my name in the house. So there you go. So those are the kind of the funny things. So let us know if you had one of those American Girl dolls and if you played with that. And if not, you know, were you playing with a different kind of doll? I mean, we had lots of dolls around our house with the 2 girls.
We did as well. Grace, I would say more into Barbies than American Girl doll. My parents got her one for Christmas, and she was too young. Wasn't but a couple months, ink pen to the face of itty bitty. And if you know these dolls, they're not cheap.
Oh, they are not cheap.
No. So I think we waited until she was a little older, and then we bought her one. And then really never caught on. We never did the Chicago restaurant or anything like that. So.
Well, you saved yourself some money by doing that.
I saved a lot of money.
Did you do the Cabbage Patch dolls? Were you into that whole thing?
I had a Cabbage Patch. Now, here's a funny story. And those of you that have lived in Indianapolis a long time remember the old Toys R Us there in Castleton.
Oh, yeah, right.
So we lived in Lafayette at the time. So I had to have been maybe 6th grade. My sister was 4th grade when Cabbage Patch. It was
a huge, hot Christmas toy, right?
So my parents drove all the way down here, stood in line outside that Toys R Us of Castleton just to get us Cabbage Patch.
Wow. See, I've already thought the world of your parents, and that just shows how much they love you. How about Beanie Babies? Did you do the whole Beanie Baby thing?
I didn't have Beanie Babies, but I'm trying to think if the kids did. The kids had all sorts of interesting things. You know, there were the little erasers were popular for a while, and I mean, just all sorts of stuff.
Well, they used to have the Beanie Babies at McDonald's as the little toy that would come with like the little meal, the kids' meal or whatever. Oh, my wife and I went to just about every McDonald's looking for these little Beanie Babies. It was crazy.
We also had Pound Puppies when I was little.
Those
were huge too. I think that was kind of the beginning. Well, maybe it predates that. You know, getting it has a name. You take care of it. You send the certificate in.
There you go. Sort of there you go. All right. Want to say hello to Teresa joining us tonight. Glenn is here. Ralph saying, 69 degrees at 10 o'clock there, and he's in Alabama.
Oh, of course.
So, yeah, he's doing pretty well tonight. Betty from Middletown saying it was a beautiful day in the neighborhood today. And Monica joining us tonight, one of many folks joining us, and Teresa joining us as well. So, all right, so temperatures plunging overnight, right?
Yes, we'll be in the mid-20s tomorrow morning, feeling like the teens. Eventual highs close to 40, breezy, but a little bit of sunshine. And then we're back into the 50s for the weekend, but do want to remind you, we might have a couple of slick roads early Saturday with a few snow showers or a light wintry mix. So we'll keep an eye on that for Saturday morning, but it's out of here by 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning.
Got it. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. Felicia will be with us tonight at 11 o'clock when we see you over on Channel 13. Thanks so much for joining us tonight at 10. Good night.